بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So Alhamdulillah, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we send our salam and salawat on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We are doing the Arabic of the Quran with the intention that to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to learning from something from his book and from the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We did few classes and last week we had some quick review. So again I'm going to do the very quick review before we go to today's lesson. So today's lesson will be the lesson number 5. So we'll go through very quickly the lessons for to refresh my memory and all of your memory. Hopefully we'll catch up, and I have sent the emails to the brothers who has provided me your email address with all the slides, and inshallah ta'ala, maybe on Monday I can give all this to you. So today we have a new lesson, but before we do that, let's do our quick review. So we know that there are 3 kinds of words in Arabic: ism, fi'l, and harf. We know the examples. Ism is something that has a name, has a place, an adjective, an adverb. All these things comes under ism. Fi'l is something that is stuck in the past, present, and future, very similar to verb. Harf is something doesn't make any sense by itself unless there is a word after it, like on, it, below, under, all these things. Then ism has 4 properties. We said just like a car. A car has for every ism, every word that is an ism has 4 properties: status, number, gender, and type. And we have almost completed the status. And then inshallah today we're going to talk about the number. 3 status of ism. In a sentence there is something called a doer. There's the details. When you ask the fi'l a question, how are you doing it, why are you doing it, where all these details is a nasab. And something comes after of, that is jar. So like the book of Abdullah, my house, my laptop, my car, the car of brother Yusuf. All these things, anything that comes after of, or something that comes before the word, but there's a word hidden off in between them. So these are all are jar. Then we talked about the time factor between ism and fi'l. That ism is permanent, fi'l is obviously time dependent. Okay. The word order and position in Arabic, it doesn't matter as long as you know the form of the order. And also we talked about the light versus heavy. Mostly the words are heavy, but if you take the noon sound out of the end of the word or the tanween out, then it became a light. And there are 4 cases the word can become a light, and we already took one of the cases. Okay. Also we talked about the chart, and this is from the chart that ani, aini, una, ina. These are all masculine. Ani, aini is the dual, and una, ina is the plural of any word. And tani, tiny, and atun, atin is the feminine word. When you go look at the chart, we'll remember this. And if there is al, the word start with an al, the word is not happy, not light. The chart, as we mentioned before, that this is very, very important. And every lesson you have to come back to the chart. You must memorize it, and you must remember, and you must understand it. That this rafa, nasab, and jar, muslimun, musliman, muslimin, muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini. You must memorize this, okay, with any other word, and you should understand. See, that's what I say, una and ina, that's the plural thing. Okay, because today we're going to do numbers, so it will come today, inshallah ta'ala, that una and ina that we have here. We also did some examples regarding these ones. Then we have, these are the ending sound and ending combination. We say ending sound is the singular one, like un and in, and ending combination is ani, aini, una, ina. This is the same chart, but feminine version. And as you can see, the ta marbuta, just reminding you that is the small ta marbuta, but when it becomes plural, it's the same sound, muslimatun, but on the plural side is muslimatun. There's an alif and a normal ta. So atun, adding with an atun. In the first one is only a normal ta marbuta. It's a small ta, there's a big ta. You can remember like that way. Muslimatan, muslimatan, muslima, muslimata, atin. Atin, and here is tan and tin. Okay, and the dual version is also like this one. And this is the full chart with the light version. So we say, like, if you take the noon sound out, then it's a muslimun. You will find sometime in the Quran muslimu. Okay, it's a musliman. You will see muslima. So these are the light version of the same chart. Then we talked about fully flexibility. There are words, they're fully flexible, meaning they change their form. Like the Muslim word is a fully flexible word because it's changing the form. It's become Muslimun, it's become Musliman, it's become Muslimin. But partly flexible, they can, what is their quality? They cannot have, they have two things. Who remember the two things? The partly flexible word. Anybody remember? The partly flexible word has two qualities. Cannot have kasra and cannot have tanween at the end. So partly flexible cannot have kasra, cannot have tanween, and non-flexible, the word never change its form. Whatever the word is, so the non-flexible means that doesn't matter wherever you put him in the chart, either it's a rafa or a nasab or jar, is always the same. Like the word Musa, like the word Isa, like the word Haza, like the word Huda, all these things are full non-flexible. Okay, and then we did some example. This is the same thing here. Fully flexible, these are the words, partly flexible. And what are the partly flexible words? Name of places and non-Arab names. So the names that are non-Arab names. And when you did the non-Arab names, then we found out that in Quran there are only 4 prophets' names are Arab names. Only 4 of them are Arab. All the prophet names are non-Arab names. So most of them are partly flexible. Some of them are non-flexible, like Musa, Isa, Zakaria, they are non-flexible. Also, there are some exceptions to that rule. So I have brought that chart for you. So these are the 4 prophets, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Shuaib, Salihun, and Hud. They are Arab names. They are Arab prophets. So they will change, meaning they are fully flexible. They can change when the forms now. So that's why we have Muhammadun, Muhammadan, and Muhammadin. But these are some exceptions. Although they are not Arab names, they are non-Arab names, Nuh and Lut. But because there are some exceptions, so they are 3-letter words, and the middle word has a tanween, so that's why it's a non-word. And also the place Adnin means the Eden, the garden in Jannah actually basically. So these are the 4 things we did last time, and then we put a chart with the name. This is a fully flexible Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin. Ibrahimu, Ibrahima, Ibrahim. See, the name Ibrahim is a non-Arab name, so that's why the nasab and jar is not changing. It's Ibrahima, Ibrahima. It can never have kasra. And also it cannot have tanween. You cannot find Ibrahimun or Ibrahiman. You cannot see this one. It's not possible to do that. That's not the grammar. Okay. And on the other side, Musa is always Musa. Doesn't matter he is doing the job on the sentence, or is he the details, or is he the jar. So if I say the house of Musa is still Musa, although it's a jar, but it's not going to be Musi or Musan or something like this. Okay. So these are the things we did so far. So today's lesson, the number. So another property of ism. We did status. The status is, alhamdulillah, we have almost finished the status. So today we're going to talk about number. Number is very easy. It's one lesson should be fine. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll do the review again of the number. But today, it may sound a little bit too much for you today, but when you do review tomorrow, inshallah, it should be fine. So the number, there are 3 different categories of number in Arabic: singular, dual, and plural. We talked about this before, right? That if something is 1, it is singular. Very simple, everybody knows that. Something is 2 is dual. In English, we don't have a dual or pair. English, something more than 1 is plural, okay? But even in our language, in Bangla and in Urdu, also more than one is a plural. But in Arabic, singular, dual, and plural. More than 2, it is plural. Okay. Now singular examples are simple. They are like the same thing as the chart we have: Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimun. All these things are singular examples. And the number of Arabic, you must understand, even in English, you have to know the words, the meaning of the word, then you know the number. So Muslimun means 1 Muslim. Muslimani means 2 Muslim. A Muslimaini, it could be Muslimaini, or it could be Muslimaini, depending on the status, like is it a nasab, is it a jar, is it a raf. So these are too simple to remember: singular example and dual example. The problem with number is that the critical part to remember of number is the plural. There are 6 kinds of plurals in Arabic. So that is the things to remember. There are 6 kinds of plural. And among these 6, there are subdivision. We'll talk about this slowly. So this is the part you should concentrate. Singular and dual, we understand from the chart, okay? And a lot of words are singular and plural. Most of the word, when you know the meaning of the word and you can put them on the chart, then they are singular, and you can make them dual also if they are following the same rule. Now there are 6 kind of plurals. These are the first 3. Okay, masculine plural. Masculine plural, how are you going to know them? Very simple to remember. If a word finish with una or ina, they are masculine plural. And it includes human, angels, and jinn, because we find this creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. So it includes human, angels, and jinn. Also it includes women. We talked about it. Then in Arabic, if you talk with a group of men and women together, you have to use the masculine word. Okay, masculine plural word. Masculine plural word includes men and women together. So when we say Muslimuna, meaning a group of Muslim, it may have Muslim men and Muslim women. But if you are talking to a group of Muslim women only, then you must use, Muslimatun, the feminine word. So feminine word is exclusively for feminine. Masculine word cover masculine and also cover masculine and feminine. And that's why most of the time, in the Quran, when you see Allah say, Inna Allaha ma'as sabirun, all the masculine word Allah use, but it also covers the woman. It also covers the woman, And actually there was a sahabiyat, they said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned so many ayat about the men, what about us? And then in Surah Al-Ahzab, Allah had explained, on qanitina, on qanitati, or abidina, abidati. So Allah mentioned every word with masculine and feminine. Masculine just to give them the preference. Okay, so it's very simple to understand. And all the words in our chart, when we have the chart, Muslimina, Muslimuna, is very, so anytime you see a word with una at the end or ina at the end, so this is a plural, of course, because we're talking about plural number, and this is a masculine plural. The word is a masculine plural. Now, feminine plural are 2 types, and this is something just a bit different than the other language. There's one called human feminine plural, meaning mothers, sisters, Muslim believers, Muslim female believers. They're really feminine. Okay, so they are feminine. Okay, so there's nothing to understand. Okay, if you're talking to your daughters, if you have 2, 3 daughters, obviously the word is feminine. Okay, and they ends with atun and atin, just like our chart, Muslimatun and Muslimatin. Okay, the 3rd column of the feminine chart. Remember that way. Okay, there are something called non-human feminine plural in Arabic. Okay, what are these? These are treated as she, meaning in Arabic there is no word called it. It. Like we can say it is a laptop. In Arab language there is nothing called it. It's either a he or a she. Okay? In Arabic it's either a he or a she. And non-human things mostly considered as she. And almost all places non-human things that is plural is considered as she. And that's why the Arab would say, like if you see nice buildings, okay? You don't say they are nice buildings. You don't say that. You say she is a nice buildings. If you translate their Arabic. So there's few things. Although it's a plural number, you have to understand this one. Although this is a plural, the word we can see there's few buildings or few cars in the parking lot. Okay, suppose some nice BMWs are parked there. And we are saying these cars are beautiful. This is the English we're saying. But in Arabic they will say she is beautiful cars. Okay, so the word car will be plural, but it will be treated as a she, as a feminine singular number. Okay, that's why the example like samawatun. Okay, and they also finish it with atun and atin. Okay, like samawatun is skies, and this word is so common in the Quran. Also the cars, the sayyaratin, this is not in the Quran, but the hadith similar to this one. Sama'atun and sayyaratun, all these things are non-human things, but they consider as feminine. They consider as feminine plural, and they consider as she. Okay, so that's what you have to remember, that but it is easy to understand. You have to know the meaning. So if I say what is samawatun, if you know the meaning, it means skies. So obviously skies is a non-human thing, it's not a human. So it is non-human feminine plural. Okay, and it is treated as she. Okay, so grammatically it is she, but that's why it's a feminine singular word, but the number of it is plural itself. The next three are a little bit difficult one. There are another 3, 4, 5, and 6. Human broken plural, non-human broken plural, and ism jama. Ism jama is very simple. There are only 3 words in the Quran in ism jama. So we'll remember those 3 words. That's it, is done. Broken plural. What is a broken plural? To understand that, there are broken plurals in English also. Okay. So let's look at these words in English. Booth, like in a phone booth, becomes booths. But tooth doesn't become tooths, right? It becomes teeth. Goose become geese, not gooses, right? House become houses, but mouse become mice, right? Ox became oxen, not oxes. Child become children. So when this kind of words, the word we are not attaching any s or es, that word is called actually broken plural. That kind of plural is called plural. So the word is changing. It's not that we keep the same word and adding something. Like house is the same normal word. We're just adding an s with that. Okay? Booth is a normal word. We're just adding an s with that. But tooth, goose, ox, child, they are not normal. They are broken plural. Okay? Meaning what? We didn't add an s and es. Just like this in Arab, in Arabic language, atun, atin, una, ina, just like remember them as s or es. So they are normal. Okay? So Muslimun, if I say Muslim, you say Muslims at the s. So in Arabic, Muslimun is a Muslimuna. So una, ina, atun, atin, all in the chart, they are normal, just like s and es. But there are lots of words. Their plural is different. And you know a lot of words like this actually. When you see the examples, you know. So those are called broken plurals. And broken plurals means the word is not atun, atin, it's a different word. Either an alif has been added, or in the beginning, or in the middle, or a noon has been added, something done to the word. Okay? We'll see some example. And on those broken plurals, there's 2 types. Obviously, if you have to know the meaning. The human broken plural and the non-human broken plural. If you know the meaning, you know what is human, what is non-human. It's very easy to understand. So let's look at the human broken plural. Its ending sound is una, like an, un, or in. So it looks like Muslimun. It looks like a singular one. Okay? But actually they are not singular. They are plural because they have broken plurals. Okay? But they are actually plural. You will know this only by their translation, meaning only by their meaning. So, and we'll see the example. And they treated as either she. So when they are plural, when human broken plural, okay, when they act, there are many of them, we treat them as she or they. Like English, you can use they also in them for the human broken plural. Let's look at some example. Like the prophets. What is prophet in Arabic? One prophet is Nabi. Everybody know the word Nabi, right? What is the plural of Nabi? Anbiya. We also know this word, right? Anbiya. You know, we use it in our Bengali language also. I think in Urdu also use it Anbiya, right? So is Nabi become Nabiyuna or Nabiina? No, it became Anbiya. So this is a broken plural, and this is a human broken plural. Okay. Now, if I say there are 25 prophets, okay, they are special people. So we can, even in Arabic, they're treated as they. Or you can also say she is very special people. It sounds weird, but you can even say that in Arabic. But you can use either she or either they. Both you can use for human broken plural. Okay. Another example of human broken plural is kafirun. Everybody know the meaning of kafirun, disbeliever. What is the plural of it? We use it a lot. Kuffar, right? Kuffarun. Kuffarun is the disbelievers. So obviously kafirun is disbeliever, man or woman. Okay, and their plural is, kuffar. So and look at it. It's not una. There's no ina, nor the atun, nor the atin. The whole word little bit changed. See, there's a shadda been added. Kuffarun. See, the word has changed a little bit. Sounds very similar, but it's not like our chart. Okay, so these are, you can even remember like this. These are the words that are out of our chart. Okay, so Anbiya and become Nabi, Nabi become Anbiya, and there are other also, like another one, Alim. Alim means what? A person who is knowledgeable, right? Alimun. One Alim is Alimun. What is plural of Alim? You know the word, I know, just tell me. What is the plural of Alim? Ulama, yes. So it's not Alimuna, it's not Alimina, it's Ulama. So that is also a human broken plural, and we can treat them as she, or we can treat them as they normally, like real life, like English. Okay. So this is some of the examples of human broken plural. We'll practice some more inshallah ta'ala tomorrow. Non-human broken plural also very similar, but only difference with human broken plural, you cannot use they. It always has to be she. Okay. So like pen, like the surah that I recited in the Surah Al-Qalam. Okay. Qalamun means one pen. Aqlamun means many pens, right? And they treated as she. So if I say on the table, beautiful pens are there. So in Arabic, if I say she is beautiful pens, I should say she is beautiful pens. Okay, although they are plural, but we have to treat them as she, feminine singular, feminine singular. Also the books, very famous word in Arabic. Every child knows this. Kitab means book. Okay, but also plural of kitab is kutub, meaning the books. So that is also a non-human broken plural. Okay. Now we will go to the last one, ism jama. Ism jama are plural because the Arabs also say it, so there's no rule. So the Arabs say these are plural, so we have to take it, accept it is plural. And there are only 3 words that we're going to learn for now. There are other few, but we don't need to know it right now. Qawmun means nation. We all know that word, and that's a very, very like a heavy word in the Quran. A lot of time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use it with the stories of the prophets. Nasun means people, nas means people, and qarmun means generation. So although every word of this has un at the end, okay, but they are not singular. Also, they are not broken plural also, okay. They all are ism jama. Jama means like a gatheration. So they are very similar type of word. Nation, nation is built up with people, and few nation makes a generation or something like this. So very similar. There is little bit exception in qarnun. Qarnun means generation. Qawmun is nation. There is a feminine plural word for that. Aqwamun. Aqwamun, and that word is also found in Arabic. But that word actually is a broken plural. But you just don't remember that one, or you don't have to remember that. Just remember these 3 words if you see them. And if I ask you what type of plural are they, you say ism jama. Okay, as simple as that. So this is today's lesson, inshallah ta'ala. Today we're going to review this one again, and we're going to do some exercise. I have one example for today to finish the lessons from the Quran. An example from the Quran. This word, qanitatin. It means obedient woman. Okay, what status is it? Brother Mustafa, you tell me. What is is it an ending sound or ending combination? Look at the last part. Last 2 letters. Atin, right? So atin is from which chart? Feminine chart or masculine chart? Feminine chart. Is it nasab or jar or rafa?
Nasab.
Or it could be jar also, right? It could be nasab or jar. Okay. And this is a feminine word. So obedient woman, can it include men? No. It's exclusively for women only. Okay? Now look at this ayah from the Quran. It's a big ayah, the last ayah of Surah Al-Tahrim. Okay? Allah is talking about Maryam. O Maryam abnata Imran allati ahsanat farjaha fanafakhna fiha ruhina. Don't worry about all the middle part. So at the end Allah says wa qanat minal qanitina. Look at the last word, qanitina. Is it a feminine word? What is the ending of the qanitina? Ina. Una and ina is what? Which from which chart? Masculine, right? So, and Allah is talking about Maryam. Maryam is a feminine. So if you're talking to a feminine lady, a female, you must use the upper word. Qanitati, that word you should use. But Allah used a masculine word. Right? From the masculine. Why do Allah do that? Some of the Orientalists found that this is an error in the Quran. Okay? So because the word, look at the word, minal qanitina. Do you understand the problem, Brother Shafi? That grammatically, if you're talking to a Maryam, by the way, Maryam, who's Maryam? Mother of Isa. Is the Maryam word, is it an Arab word or a non-Arab word? No. Non-Arab. Okay. So if it's not, is it fully flexible, partly flexible, or non-flexible? No. Partly flexible. So we can have Maryamu, we can have Maryama, but we cannot never have Maryami. Okay, we cannot have that. Also, we cannot have Tanwin. Okay, we cannot have Mariaman, Mariamun, we cannot have, and you'll never find this in the Quran. That's wrong, right? So the reason is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used a feminine, ism at the end for Maryam, because she is so pure to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Her status is so high that Allah is saying she is such a woman, even in the man and woman, she is the best. When it comes to obedient woman. So just to show her status, to her daraja, that she is so high, she is not only the best, kanat min al-qanitin, not only best among the obedient women, she is the best among obedient men and women. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used this word. And this is and you will know this, when you know the words, now you know the word that qanitina and qanitatin. So in all these things, it makes sound good, inshallah ta'ala. So we'll finish it here today. Tomorrow, as we said, we're going to review the number again, and I will bring some words to practice, maybe 10, 15 words to practice, inshallah ta'ala. And obviously, I have given you almost 15 words before. You probably have this one. Please practice those, increase your vocabulary, because you have to know the meanings of the word, because otherwise it's very difficult for you to understand the Quran. Once you know the word meaning, it will be easy for you to apply the grammar on it, because we are doing the grammar, inshallah ta'ala. So jazakallah khairan, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.